Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? It's the Nibs here. I'm basically just doing another tutorial. Yeah, like basically I'm just gonna be introducing you guys in this tutorial to myself, I guess. I'm fairly new to YouTube. I got like a 1 subscriber or something. My brother just unplugged my internet for some random reason why I was uploading a YouTube video. Now it's completely crashed. Now I gotta upload it all again. So yeah, love him too. But anyways, guys, I'm basically the Nibs. My name is Scholar Connect, and my YouTube channel is youtube.com/thenibs. Well, not the Nibs, NibbsHD. I was gonna use the Nibs, but I guess the Nibs is already taken. But it's alright. What I'm going to be showing you guys how to do today is actually an effect that I learned a long time ago from Grayscale Gorilla. If you guys have not already seen my little animation that I made of the spin effect, you can go ahead and go check it out on my channel. The link will probably be on the screen right now, but if it's not, just go ahead and it probably will be in the description, or you could just go check out my channel. So hopefully you guys learned something for this tutorial. It's not going to really get in depth on how to get into the really glossy effects of the materials and get into After Effects and add all that gloss into it, but basically I'm going to show you guys the basic animation of the spin effect. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to delete the scene that I've already made. So yeah, to be honest, that was just me trying to practice before this tutorial because I haven't done that effect in a while. So I'm just going to go ahead and type in spin, as I did in that little animation I made. I'm going to center the text, and I'm going to add like 10 spacing, because once we add this bifurc font, it's actually really chunky and like really bold, and it works perfectly for this little animation I'm going to be making. But if you add 10 horizontal spacing, it's going to give us this little space between each one of our letters. So once we add the random effector and the fracture object with the MoText, it's going to give us a really nice effect instead of merging all the little effectors and like fragment pieces together. And to be honest, once you don't add the horizontal spacing, it's not going to give you that good of an effect. So I would go ahead and go add some fillet caps and like change each of these steps to 3. But to be honest, since we're not going to be adding any materials in this like tutorial, we really don't need any fillet caps, so I'm just going to leave these at default caps. And I'm going to go ahead and go back to object and change the depth to 75, so we really get that bunky feeling, or not bunky, chunky feeling of the text. And once we have that set up, we're going to go ahead and add that fracture object that I was talking about earlier. Oops, my voice kind of cut out there. Go ahead and add that fracture object that we were talking about earlier. Drag the MoText as a child of the fracture object and add a random effector. Now once you have this set up, go to your fracture object, go to effectors, and I'm going to go ahead and remove this random effector. That was from my last little setup that I made. Drag this random effector in, and if you go to random and go to position, I'm pretty sure this actually might not work. And what I'm doing here is go to your fracture object and change the mode to explode segments. This will give us the little chunky pieces to mess around with and animate. If you go and make explode segments and connect, it's not going to give us that little like fragment effect, I guess. It's going to remain connected to all the rest of the pieces. It's not really going to give us that spin effect that everyone really loves. So I'm just going to leave this on explode segments. Go back to random, and the reason why I said this might not work is because, let's look at it. Yep, if you change this back to 0, sometimes in Cinema 4D you have to add a null object between MoText and fracture. It's like a little magic trick, I guess, if you want to call it that. But every time you use like one of these MoText like effectors or one of these little fracture objects or objects that you can use on your MoText, a null object really like settles down that animation that's not working out for you. So if you ever have that problem, guys, just throw in a null object and throw it inside this little group that we got here. Make the MoText a child of the null object, and if you go back to random, as you can see, this this like animation is going to now work out for us. To be honest, I really don't know why it works out like that, but I guess it works, and that really solves a lot of questions and answers. So if you guys haven't already, change this to 120 frame set. This will give us 4 seconds on our little timeline. And go back to random. And at 0, we're going to set this little animation up as 0 keyframes on R.H, and today we're going to be using R.P and R.H as a rotation for our segments. Is like R.H, it gives us the settle animation effect that you can see, but if you actually add this P in here, it's going to give us really like a really cool animation for like settle down the animation, because if you just leave it as the H animation, because the reason why I'm calling it P and H is because that's what it's named, I guess, on Cinema 4D, and I really don't know anything else to call it. But if you give it this little like funky effect, it's going to give us not like, I guess, it's really plain if you just leave it as the H like rotation effect. But anyways, I'm going to put that back down to 0, go up to H, what am I doing? Keyframe that, and then go up to like 60, and then make this like, I guess like 450. Keyframe it again, go up to like 80, 81, and make this 0. Now the total animation right now is 4 seconds, but you can change this to whatever you would like. But for now, I think 4 seconds is plenty of enough time for this little animation that we're going to be making. So if you want to change that to whatever you would like, I'm completely fine with that. It's not my opinion, but it's your opinion. So whatever you want to change your animation timeline up to, it's pretty much up to you. But if we play through this right here, you can see that we really have this little spin animation going on. But as you can see, what I was talking about earlier, if we don't really change this P rotation here, it's not going to give us that really cool, funky effect that we were talking about. So if we go in here, we make this like around 20. So like right like pretty much in the middle of where it is from 0 to 450 frames. If we go back to like 20 and we change this like, I don't know, like 250. Actually no, change this back to 0, because we need like a settle point for our animation of the like P rotation effect. And then you go back up to like 60 right in between these two. And you change this to 250. You keyframe it again, and then you move it up right before it gets to like where H is like at 0. If you put it at like 75 to 70, and you change this to 0 again, and then you keyframe it. If you go and run back through, you can see that it's not that plain effect anymore. We really have this really cool rotation effect. And this is actually pretty much all I wanted to show you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed my first ever tutorial on YouTube. So yeah, guys, I hope to see you guys again. I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope to get back to you guys with a lot more tutorials, a lot more original tutorials from myself. I really just wanted to show you this because a couple of my friends visited my channel and they were like, "Oh, that's really cool. Where did you learn that from? How did you do it? What programs did you use, and how basically did you come up with the idea of it?" So yeah, I did learn this from a Grayscale Gorilla, like, I don't know, like 5 years back, but I really think it's a cool animation. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial again. I hope you guys enjoy any future tutorials and animations. I'm not really going to show any render out like settings for this video, since we really didn't set up that much geometry and materials and anything. We're not really going to render out into any other videos. This is just really just to show you guys the simple animation of the fracture object and the random effector. So I hope you guys learned something in this tutorial, and yeah, I'm out. Peace.